Hello and welcome. We're going to talk about continual growth and the tested metal. So, continual growth. The journey never ends, and that's the point. Growth is not a destination you arrive at, it's a lifestyle you choose every single day. The moment you stop growing is the moment everything starts to shrink. Your world, your confidence, your possibility, your joy. I've seen it happen to brilliant, talented people who decided they had arrived and stopped investing in themselves. Within a year, they felt stuck all over again. And your second act isn't a one time reinvention, it's a commitment to becoming continuously, courageously, consistently. What growth requires is curiosity. Stay hungry to learn. Ask those questions. Explore new ideas. Be fascinated by the world, by the people, by the possibilities. Humility. Be willing to be a beginner, to not know, to look foolish, to ask for help. That's not weakness, that is wisdom. Consistency. Growth isn't about grand gestures, it's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Courage. Growth happens at the edge of at the edge of your comfort zone. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. Huh. That is a very true statement. So we need to build our growth system. We need to have growing habits. We need to know the frequency. We need to learn daily. We need to read. We need to listen to podcasts or watch something that stretches your mind for at least 15 minutes every day. Like I said earlier in the course, every day I wake up, I take a big old stretch, breathe in real deep, and then I grab my phone or get down on my computer and I get on YouTube and I pull up a Tony Robbins or a Simon Sinek podcast or one of their lessons for the day. And it's normally anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. And I do that every single day. It kind of gets my mind into, gets my body moving and it gets me thinking in a clearer path. I mean, I have to have clarity and that there it teaches you them guys there are awesome motivators. You'll see also as we come to the end, one of my things, Simon Sinek, is what's your reason, what's your why. It is awesome to podcast and training to listen to about that, and also in my years in corporate I did use a lot of Simon Sinek, a lot of his talks and stuff when I did training classes. I quoted him quite a bit. So you do need to, like I said, you need to stretch your mind at least 15 minutes a day, every day, just so, you can get into that mindset. You need to build new skills. Pick one new skill per quarter and commit to it every 90 days. Surround yourself wisely. Invest time with people who challenge and support you week. And then one of the other biggest one is reflect. Journal about what you've been learning, what you've been changing, what's working. Do that at least weekly. Some people I know journal at the end of the night, how their day was and, how they could have done things better. I know a lot of people, I don't want to, they meditate, some people do. They also, the growth tree. I don't know, people are probably familiar with that. You're laying in bed and you run through your day and think about, what could you have done better? So you got to continue the growth. So when growth feels like it's stalled, there will be a plateau and times when it feels like nothing is moving, nothing at all. Like you're putting in the work and getting nowhere. I need you to hear this. Plateaus almost always come right before the breakthrough. That is, a lot of people, I mean, since I've been in the online space, a lot of people, yes, I was frustrated and all that and things like that because it's like I'm doing all this and nothing's happening. But I had plateaued, and then the next thing you know, I did not give up. I kept on, and boom, here we go. I have a successful business working in the background for me 24/7. So now it allows me to be able to help other people, guide them with navigating change or self-love or, the challenges I have here in my community. So that there, do not stop. Even when you think you've plateaued and you're going nowhere, I need you to hear that because almost every time 90% of people they quit because they have hit a plateau and they don't think they're going anywhere. But that right there, right there could be your breakthrough, right the next thing. Your brain is consolidating. Your skills are integrating, your foundation is solidifying. It does not feel like progress, but it is. Don't quit on a plateau. Don't quit. The summit, like the summit is closer than you think. So that is my thing about this continuous growth. Do not stop. Even though you feel like you're stale, you're stalled, anything like that, keep on going because you never know. That one next move could be your total breakthrough. So keep continuing to grow. The next thing we're going to talk about is the tested metal. What the crucible produces. We started this course with the crucible, that container that withstands extreme heat, where raw materials are refined into something stronger. Now I want you to look at what the crucible has produced in you. Tested metal is stronger than raw ore. It's pure. It's more resilient. It can bear more weight. It doesn't shatter under pressure because it's already been through the fire. It knows what it's made of. That's you. So, what the crucible produced resilience. You've been knocked down and you got back up. That's not just recovery, that's proof of who you are. Clarity. The fire burned away the things that didn't matter. What's left is what's real. Compassion. You understand struggle now in a way you didn't before. That makes you powerful and kind. Confidence. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The I've survived worse kind. Purpose. You know why you're here, not because it was handed to you, because you earned it in the fire. You got wisdom, the kind that only comes from living through something, not just reading about it. You are not the same person you was before the fire, and that's not something to mourn. That is something to celebrate. The people who navigate change successfully aren't the ones who avoid the fire. They are the ones who let the fire do the work. They're the ones who stayed in the crucible long enough to be transferred by it. So you, like at the bottom, of the screen there, you have been through the fire. You did not break. You are stronger than you know, and the proof that you are still here, still building, still becoming. So you guys have done it, and I'm proud of you. And make sure, the people that navigate change successfully are not the ones who avoid the fire. They are the ones who let the fire do the work. And that is exactly what you guys have done. So at the bottom of the page, there is below this video. I can't talk tonight. Below the video, there is some activities to do and get those done. And I will see you for our very last lesson of this course. So until next time, have a blessed day.